Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everyone. It's been a while. I do have to apologize for lack of content on my channel, but it has been a very busy few months on the work front. Anyway, I'm back, though I don't think I'll be able to generate content on a weekly basis that I used to. The idea now is to focus on creating more in-depth content, some of which will border on being opinion pieces. So let's lay it down and say that what I say in my channel are strictly my own views on the game, based on my own perspectives from where I stand, and I don't hide the fact that I'm not a free-to-play player. But I do keep my ears close to the ground, and I will try to take into account as many perspectives as I can in this channel. I know many YouTubers have already spoken about the Franklin A, and I'm sure that many of you would have already formed your views about it. One common view I've heard is that the Franklin A is a one-trick pony, and it seems like many of you on 195 has bought into this narrative, as I don't see many Franklin A's running around doing Swam Armadas or Swamadas for short. But let's break it down. Is the Franklin A really that bad a ship? For one, it is not hard to get. Many of you in the high 30s would have really maxed the original Franklin, and it literally cost next to nothing converted to the A version. Sure, while Scopely screwed us over by changing the level requirements of the level 39 uncommon Swamadas to require from uncommon directives to rare directives, it is still not difficult. I mean, I think it's still viable for one to be able to, do the Swamadas. Rare directives is not difficult to find. You find here a video of a typical NSFW doing a Swamada. It's not difficult for us to find 6 players who are able to take out one Swamada easily, especially when there are a number of high-level players like myself, Death, and Elf, and a number of others that actually have both the Franklin at higher tiers at the same time as the Franklin skin that actually enhances damage against Swamadas and other Swam targets. But what key advantage you have when you finish a Swamada is not just the Swam biotics that you get, but the fact that you complete 3 of the regular Swam dailies that used to take you time to grind. It's instant completion thanks to the way Scopely calculates the Swamada completion numbers. But more importantly, the Swamadas also get you the first of 2 of the new Swam dailies that reward 100k in frequency modulators too, which I'm sure many of you would agree are actually very valuable components in the upgrading of for you to upgrade your Franklin A with. In fact, for those of you who are able to complete the second Swam daily, it rewards with 405k frequency modulators too, and that is really a huge step up from the first one, and a much easier way for you to upgrade your Franklin A to high levels. But more importantly, besides the dailies that you complete, take a look at the Refinery bonus, the Refinery rewards that many of the other YouTubers have already covered. So let me just shift to the resources screen here, and you will find that for 100 Swam biotics, you're able to exchange, in my case, 1.5 billion pastille with 2 billion pastille in tokens. At my level, the exchanging of Swam biotics gets me 210 million tritanium with 384 million in tokens. Beyond that, I also am able to get a similarly large number for dilithium, 42 million in dilithium and 77 million in dilithium tokens. So while this differs from level to level, many of the other YouTubers have already drawn up tables that show you what you can get from each level. Refer to videos made by Ref and No One Shall as one of many examples. But suffice to say, I think the consensus is that exchanging Swam biotics for materials is actually quite rewarding. But for those of you who look at the game beyond just one about growth, my last point about the Franklin A is strategic. Server 195 is a curious arrangement where we have actually 2 ROEs that one to cover regular space and another that covers deep space. The one for deep space is actually far more generous and far more miner friendly, in a sense that it actually basically protects the rights of miners to continue mining even if they're OPL and all that. Of course, it is a gentleman's ROE, and I think and like all gentlemen ROE, so far congestion issues are being managed on a friendly basis. People will PM each other if they have more than two ships in the system to at least let go of one node so that others can mine. Sure, there have been miscommunication. There have been some that try to use certain incidents to stir shit, but we all know who you are and we all know what your agendas are. So with that in mind, we know how to resolve and sort out all the issues. So far, it's working, right? But wait, here comes the Franklin A. Take a look at the Franklin A's warp ranges. Off the bat, at tier 1, the Franklin A is able to reach warp 75. And server 195 defines deep space as anything beyond warp 56. What this means is that a tier 1 Franklin A gets you right straight to warp 75, and you can already start messing about with players in 56 and beyond. The question is, what sort of player are you? If you are a rook, or you're just trying to be naughty, you have a vendetta against a particular person or alliance, you can now have a ship that is able to hit others in deep space. Previously, you could only do that with your discovery, and if you have unlocked summoning, which is still beyond the range of some of you, as I understand. But there is a strategic implication with the advent or the introduction of the Franklin A now. In fact, if you look at the warp ranges of the Franklin A, the Franklin A together with your research bonuses actually gets you all the way to warp 180 if you include those bonuses. And what this means is that no space in deep space, literally, forgive the pun, is safe anymore from a rook player. Currently right now there is understanding among the major alliances that we are all anti-rook. Sure, some guys, some alliances have not just NSW, I must point out, have actually accepted rooks back into their ranks. But I think it can be said that these rooks are reformed. They have understood that it's not viable, or it's just not enjoyable to be a rook player in a server like 195. So okay, I can understand that. We too have also accepted back our rooks after a certain amount of reformative training, and some, well, I will be very frank, scolding. But now that they have taken in those points, we hope that these players will abide by the rules and keep the peace. But I do not know with the Franklin A whether there will be others that will be tempted to try to be naughty again. So anyway, is the Franklin A, to sum it up, is the Franklin A a one-trick pony to you? If growth is your priority, then go for it. The rewards from the dailies are decent. The rewards from exchanging swarm biotics are actually very good. If disturbing deep space in a server like 195 is your thing, this is the best way to do it for way lower cost than the discovery. Sure, warp costs are still level gated, but with the FA you have something at least to start knocking on the doors of deep space. Alright, anyway, before I end, let me just tell you a little bit of trivia about the USS Franklin. For those of you who watch Star Trek Beyond, you will know that the Franklin is a pre-NX-01 era ship that was captained by a Captain Baltazar Edison, who extended his own life by absorbing the life energies of other living beings. He ended up morphing into an evil creature called Krau, which Kirk eventually defeated. But did you know that a British explorer called Sir John Franklin led an expedition to the Arctic in 1845 that somehow got stranded? And as the crew struggled to live through the harsh Arctic conditions, they apparently resorted to cannibalism in a bid to survive. So the screenwriters of Star Trek Beyond certainly named the NX-326 very aptly, given what happened to her crew in history. Some food for thought. Well, everyone, I'll have to end here. The pandemic is still raging out there. Stay safe, everyone. Stars out. Meanwhile, I'll leave you with this video excerpt. For the Federation to sit in a captain's chair and Big Bad with the enemy.
We change. We have to. We spend the rest of our lives fighting the same battles.